Okay, we have an application on solving trigonometric equations. The phase of the moon. The moon orbits our Earth in 29.5 days. The portion F, that's portion F of the moon, visible from Earth, X days. So X represent how many days visible after the new moon. So the portion F of the moon visible from Earth X days after the new moon is given by the equation F, which is the portion of the moon, equals 0.5 sine of pi over 14.75 times x minus 14.75 divided by 2 plus zero point 0.5. Okay. Find x when 75% of the moon is visible from Earth. What that mean? That means that F equals 75%, which is 0.75. So right away, you're going to write the equation, rewrite the equation F. It will be 0.75 equals 0.5 sine of pi over 14.75 times x minus 14.75 divided by 2. Then it's plus 0.5. That's first. So first we substitute for f equals 0.75. That's first. Second, we eliminate 0.5, so we're going to subtract 0.5 from both sides. Subtract 0.5, subtract 0.5 or 0.50. So this side will be 0.25. So 75 minus 50 is 0.25 equals 0.5 sine of pi over 14.75 times x minus 14.75 divided by 2. Second, we divide both sides by a half. Divide by 0.5, divide by 0.5. So you divide here by 0.5, divide here by 0.5, and when you divide 0.25 by 0.5, it will be a half. A half. So this is a half. So a half equals sine of pi over 14.75. And we could distribute it, by the way. If you distribute pi times x is pi x. Pi x over 14.75 minus, if you distribute pi over 14.75 times 14.75 over 2, cancel out 14.75 with 14.75 and pi over 2 left, pi over 2. So now it's time to eliminate sine. So we will say bring arc sine to both sides. Okay. So arc sine cancel sine. Let me write it down here to the left or to the right, it doesn't matter. So arc sine cancel sine, so it will be pi x over 14.75 minus pi over 2 equals arc sine, arc sine, or the angle that its sine is a half. Okay. Okay. So what is the angle that its sine is a half? We know that it's 30 degrees. So 30 degrees or equivalent, 30 degrees, or sine is positive in second. So as we know, very quick here. Back. Sine is positive in first quarter and in second quarter. So it will be 30, or in second quarter, 30 means 180 minus 30, which is 150 degrees. So we have two solutions here for it. Two solutions. So it could be pi x over 14.75 minus pi over 2 equals 30, right away 30 degrees, which is pi over 6. I don't need the equivalent here. This is a real life application. And also we have pi x over 14.75 minus pi over 2 equals 150, which is 5 times 30, which is 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6. Yeah. So plan to eliminate pi over 2. So we add pi over 2. Add pi over 2. And here is add pi over 2. Add pi over 2. And here, this will be cancel out. And this is 2. And what's left is pi x over 14.75 equals pi over 6 plus pi over 2, which is 4 pi over 6. 4 pi over 6. This is 1. So pi over 6 plus pi over 2. This will be 3 pi over 6, and 3 plus 1 is 4. It will be 4 pi over 6. 4 pi over 6, which is 2 pi over 3. So pi x equals 14.75 equals, again, this will be multiplied by 3 to be 3 pi over 6, and then 3 pi plus pi is 4 pi over 6, common denominator. 4 pi over 6 is 2/3, so it's 2/3 pi. Cancel out from left and right, cancel out pi. Let's do that here. Pi with pi will be cancelled out. Then x equals, you multiply both sides by 14.75, and here is 14.75. So it will be 2 times 14.75, 2/3 times 14.75, and 2 times 14.75 is 29.5 over 3. We could round it to be 27 divided by 3 is 9 and 2 left. Then 25 divided by 3 is 8 and 1 left. Continue. We wouldn't need more than that. So in here, x will be 9.83. let's follow here. So pi x over 14.75 equals 5 pi over 6 plus a half. Okay, let's do that here. 5 pi over 6 plus a half pi multiplied by 3, numerator and denominator. So it will be 3 over 6. And 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 over 6. When you simplify it, 8 over 6 will be 4 over 3. So it will be 4 over 3 pi. 4 over 3 pi equals pi x over 14.75. Let's continue. So cancel out pi with pi, and x equals, just cross or multiply both sides by 14.75. So x equals 4/3 times 14.75. It's the same as here, but we're gonna multiply by 2. It's doubled. This is 2 and this is 4. So to have a better calculation, just double this. So x equals, double it will be 59 over 3. So x equals 1, and here is 29 divided by 3 is 9. 2 left, then 20 divided by 3, it's about 6 and 6, 7 if you round it, 67. So we have two solutions for that. X equals 19.67 or x equals 9.83. And here they were looking for x. Find x. Okay, and x represents how many days the moon visible